So if you've been pastoring a church or actually in any form of leadership over the past couple of years, I don't need to tell you that these have been difficult years to lead. And the reality is that when leadership is hard is when leadership is needed the most. But one of the things that makes leading difficult, particularly in these times, is leaders have to act in the midst of uncertainty. It's very different than managing. Managing is basically, wet your head, put shampoo in, rinse, repeat. You have a process that you're going through and you know the outcome. But leaders have to take decisive actions, take step when they don't know what the outcome is going to be. They don't have all the facts that they would like, but you still have to make a decision. And once you do make a decision, once you act, or even if you don't act, you're going to get shot at. People are going to attack you. Matter of fact, we've been getting shot at so much that sometimes it feels like that we've been at war. Which makes me think about this passage out of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. It says, finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. It's like, get ready, on your mark, get ready. He says, put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stands against the devil's evil schemes. So get ready, get set. And then he says, know your enemy. He says, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. Then he goes into put on your full armor, so prepare yourself, know your enemy, prepare yourself. And then just when you think he's gonna say charge or fight, this is what he says, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all of God's people. These are difficult times to lead, and sometimes when we don't know what to do, we're tempted to do nothing. But I believe God's calling us to pray. I've started reading, actually just today, this book by John Cassian called Making Life a Prayer, as I'm seeking to experience more intimacy with God. And I read this morning this introduction. It said, Christians are called to a higher ideals. Love God with all your being, love your neighbor, love your enemy, pray without ceasing. It's hard to live this out in our daily lives. Maybe if we did not have so many distractions, so many responsibilities, we would have a better chance. Actually, that mindset's what led John Cassian and many of the others, desert fathers and desert mothers, to try to pull away from society, to isolate themselves in the desert where they could pray. But what they found is that even when you get away in the desert, you still have distractions. You still have things that can occupy your mind. It's not really about removing distractions as much as it is about prioritizing correctly. I want to challenge you and ask you as pastors and as leaders to prioritize prayer during this season. With everything that's going on in Israel and the wars that are there, it's complex and it's beyond our ability to even know all the facts. But we can pray. We can pray for the peace of God to come and for God's will to come and for lives to stop being lost there. So I'd encourage you to pray daily. And also, I'd like to encourage us to join together with our brothers and sisters in North Georgia in the Global Methodist Church as they wait on a special annual conference on November 18th to decide if they're going to be able to get out of the United Methodist Church or not. So what I'd like you to do is prioritize prayer by setting an alarm at 11:18 in the morning to pause and to pray for world peace, and that the conference in North Georgia would go peacefully and people would be able to part in a civil way. So 11:18 each day, will you join me in praying? I hope so. God bless you.